I always warned people when you look at the issue of Section 230 and big tech, and you look at the issue of Facebook and Twitter, and I've used it before myself, and I keep evolving my thinking around this because I've always been open and honest about, I just don't know where I fell on this. I don't want more government involved in speech and regulation. However, and this is just me thinking out loud here, when you consider the issue of free speech, is it free speech when corporations are free to inconsistently punish people for speech by denial of service? And when they have so much of the space? People always said, well, it's a small business, build your own. Okay, well, conservatives did. Well, and they're not even conservative. I think they're more libertarian with Parler. And then Twitter, who had just signed a deal with Amazon back in December for the same service that Parler, the same agreement that Parler has with Amazon, although obviously I would imagine Twitter brought way more money to the deal and maybe leverage that. They together decided to inconsistently enforce the term of service. They were alleging that Parler was not removing unprotected speech from its platform when they were. It's also difficult to keep up when your service explodes and quadruples like overnight. But wouldn't you have to prove somehow that they were not making a good faith effort to do that, especially when you consider when you consider the exponential growth and how quickly that can become very problematic? Even Twitter struggled with it in the beginning. But also, to me, it also seems incredibly inconsistent because it could be very well argued by allowing certain tweets to stay up that call for violence. I mean, I was looking for some guy named there was a tweet that was from last year from some guy named Colonel Morris. He's a big anti-gun guy. He hates my guts. But he was talking about actually, like literally, he tweeted using boots to step and twist and crack the necks of opponents. I mean, and that's allowed to stay up. So couldn't you make the argument that Twitter has, even to a bigger degree, violated that term of service agreement with AWS then? But then why is it that Parler is the one that is kicked off, but yet Twitter's allowed to stay? Because I think, and this is where the argument is it comes down to ideology. So to say that, well, they control everything. They do control a lot. If you want to have a discussion about antitrust or whatever, my conflict comes in with my libertarian economic beliefs on this. And I don't like the government getting involved in stuff. But if you say that businesses are free to operate how they want, but they aren't though, that's where you're wrong. You've already ceded that ground. Businesses are not free to operate how they want to. For better or for worse, they have to meet a bunch of regulations already in order to operate. That's what those licenses are that they get. You get a permission slip from the government stating that you can operate your business. So this idea that businesses can do what they want, no, they can't.